C, the interviewer does not know of your work, does not know who you are or what you do, and doesn't care. You don't find out what category you're in until you've chanced into until a few seconds before the red light goes on. And once you have experience in this, however, you get to be able to read the signs, subtle as they are. If, for instance, the interviewer asks you your name, you know you're in a category C. Here is part of a category C interview. When I was a rookie in the radio interview game, my goal was to get the name Brian Doyle out there, make it a household word. Interviewer: what do people usually say about your books, Larry? Me: well, Bobby, people say that the books are attempts to deal in some of the more time-honored themes like mortality and loyalty and forgiveness and love and death. Interviewer: good. Now, what are some of the themes you deal with in your book? But now, applying the skills that I developed as a non-athlete playing sports at Carleton College, the opening of a category C interview might sound more like this. Interviewer: what do people usually say about your books, Jim? Me: well, Bobby, people say that once you put down one of my books, you just can't pick it up again. Interviewer: good. Now, could you tell our listeners of a funny incident that happened because of one of your books? Me: certainly can, Bobby. A lady told me once that she had left a copy of one of my books in the back of her convertible on the seat. She had left the top down, and when she came back from shopping, there were dozens of copies of the book there. Interviewer: isn't that good? Could we go over that again? Can you see the skills at work there? Norm, let's run down a profile of, say, a typical football team, excluding the Hall of Famers and the stars and the natural athletes. A team made up of, say, everyman. Our all-time team, Norm. A team, the memory of which we will take into our twilight years. Here it is. Defense. Our safety was in love. He was being drained dry every night by one of the cheerleaders. Sometimes he wouldn't even move while play was in progress. He'd stand there, very dashing in his uniform, still and posed like the photograph she had of him on her dresser. Our cornerbacks on the other hand, were seeing each other. They could not be counted upon to stay in their zones. They're always floating across to help each other out during the play. Our middle linebacker called the defensive plays, but nobody could understand what he was saying because he was from somewhere around Pakenham.
Nice.
Our front four were in science and engineering. On the principle that the bigger you are, the dumber you are, none of them could come to practice because they always had to stay after school to do their lab work over again. Our defensive end had a serious disorder and was regularly seeing a psychiatrist. He was written up in psychiatry journals. What was wrong with him, in layman's terms? He was a coward. Specialty team, our place kicker had discovered dope and often kicked the field goal before the ball was even snapped. And got the most sarcastic ovation of the decade one afternoon when his kicking shoe split the uprights instead of the ball. Offense, our end was crafty but unlucky. He had the sun in his eyes in the first half and in the second half. In all 4 quarters of each game for 4 years. Even the night games. Our center, Norm, was tough, strong, and religious. He believed in turning the other cheek. He spent 3 seasons flat on his back. Our fullback had an internecine heart condition. That's where, when you get excited, your heart fights itself. He was often shipped out in the ambulance during the pep talk before the game. Our pep talks were always exciting. Our offensive right guard couldn't remember the plays. Had them written on a sheet of paper, pasted inside his helmet. Was often struggling to replace his helmet on the line of scrimmage after reading it in the huddle. He was usually hit before he got it on properly. Broke his nose 36 times. A Raven record, I'm sure. Our left tackle, big, fearless, an animal really. Uncoordinated though. Personally, single-handedly, hospitalized over a dozen players, all of them ours.